The Temple of Edfu, also known as the Temple of Horus, is the second largest temple in ancient Egypt, following the Karnak Temple. Situated in the city of Edfu in Upper Egypt, on the west bank of the Nile River, the temple represents one of the last attempts by the Ptolemies to construct temples in the style of their ancestors in terms of structure and grandeur. The construction of the Temple of Horus took approximately 180 years. The temple was dedicated to the main deity Horus, identified as Apollo in Greek interpretation, and stands as one of the best preserved monuments in Egypt. It was built during the rule of the Ptolemaic kingdom between 237 and 57 BCE. The inscriptions on its walls provide crucial information about language, myths, and religion during the Hellenistic period in Egypt. Notably, the engraved texts detail the construction of the temple and preserve information about the mythical interpretation of it and other temples, such as the Island of Creation. Additionally, important scenes and inscriptions depicting the ancient conflict between Horus and Seth were interpreted during the German Edfu project. The symbols and inscriptions carved on the walls recall the rituals followed in ancient times, suggesting that the temple was built on the site of a great battle between Horus and Seth. The Temple of Edfu was one of the many temples constructed during the Ptolemaic kingdom, including the Dendera Temple Complex, Esna Temple, Kam Ombo, and Philae. These temples reflect the relative prosperity of that time. The current temple, construction of which began on August 23, 237 BCE, initially consisted of a columned hall, 2 transverse halls, and the Holy of Holies, surrounded by small chapels. Construction started during the reign of Ptolemy III, Uergetes, and was completed in 57 BCE during the reign of Ptolemy IV, Auletes. It was built on the site of a smaller temple dedicated to Horus, even though the previous structure faced east-west instead of the current north-south orientation. The remains of this earlier temple, a destroyed structure, lie to the east of the current temple, with evidence of building programs during the reigns of New Kingdom kings Ramesses I, Seti I, and Ramesses II. The temple became buried at a depth of 12 meters, 39 feet, under drifting desert sands and layers of Nile silt. Local residents built their homes directly above the former temple grounds, and by 1798, only the uppermost parts of the temple's structure were visible when a French mission discovered it. In 1860, French Egyptologist Auguste Mariette began the work of excavating the Temple of Edfu. The Temple of Edfu is considered nearly intact and serves as an excellent model of an ancient Egyptian temple. Its historical value and well-preserved state make it a significant tourist attraction in Egypt and a frequent stop for many Nile cruise boats. In 2005, the access road to the temple was renovated, adding a visitor center and paved parking. In late 2006, an advanced lighting system was also installed to allow for night visits.